To my Lunch and Learn, where each and every week I explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And we have been talking about money for the last several weeks since we started February. And today we're going to continue that throughout the month of March. And I'm going to talk to you about your money blueprint specifically and how you can stop letting it get in the way of your success. So, if you're a high achiever who's done well and you know you can be doing so much better financially, you've heard the financial advice and even followed some of it. Maybe you see others thriving beyond your current level of success, but deep and down, deep down inside, you really want that too. Today is for you. Now, some of you know me and some of you don't. If you are new here, I'm Larissa McCook. I'm a master results coach and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we help professional women whose external results tell the world they're successful, but on the inside, they know they're destined for more. So I help them stop holding themselves back and go after their dreams so that they can love themselves, love their business, and absolutely create magic and fulfillment in their lives. So I'd love to know where you're coming in from. If you are tuning in by replay, type in replay in the chat. And if it's your first time here, type in first time in the chat. So I truly thank you for your presence and I appreciate you for being here. Now, just before we dive into this topic, I want to share a story because I was thinking about this topic and it's like your money blueprint. And this is the topic I've taught several times. But really, at the essence, I remember thinking about blueprints 20 years ago. And it was when I was in the world of real estate. Okay. I'm new to my career, my working life, and something in me thought it would be a really good idea to buy, fix, and flip houses. So we ended up buying, fixing, and flipping 3 houses over the period of 6 months. And it was pretty frustrating. The first one was a very, very, very frustrating because we had never done this before. And my family was not raised to be intuitively handy. Okay. My father worked for the Encyclopedia of Ukraine in the Department of Slavic Studies, and he was a historian. He had a master's degree in history. He liked to read books. We have something in common. I like to read different books. My mother was a teacher. And she also worked at the library, more books. Okay. We didn't have a big toolbox in our world. And I didn't really understand anything about houses. However, I read a book and I thought that was a good idea to get into real estate. At that point, when we were fixing these houses, I really didn't know who to ask or what to ask for. And I made a lot of mistakes and did so many things in the wrong order. And I went with things I saw and what I'd heard from other people. I didn't take a chance to look under the hood and really get a chance to map it out. So this was frustrating because I didn't know what to do and I didn't know what to ask for. And it ended up costing us a lot of money, a lot of time, because things just had to be done over and over and over again and corrected. So it was very, very frustrating. And that reminds me of another story because last week I shared a story about when I was at Tony Robbins and his business mastery program. And while there, I was put into a team. Okay. And we were working together with this team throughout the training. Okay. It was very cool because you got to know the people, you got to learn about them, learn about their business. And compared to most of Tony Robbins seminars, this one was different. It had a different energy, right? Last week, I told you about the people that just sat like this because they weren't used to cheering and jumping up and down like most of them. One other difference was this one was heavily male dominated. Okay. I was the only woman in my entire group. And one of the men in our group really stood out to me. And he was quiet and observant. And you could just tell that he was methodical. He had something going on inside his mind. And I was just fascinated by him. I didn't know why at the time. However, I just kept looking, I just kept observing, and he had this very expansive way of thinking. He was actually a diamond wholesaler. And because he was so quiet, when he spoke, my ears, they perked up and I was just like, let me listen to you, because I knew he had valuable things to say. He wasn't plentiful with his words. And it was just totally fascinating every time he gave me tips and he gave me valuable information. Now, when it comes to taking some of this valuable information as I moved through my life, one of the things that my husband and I actually decided when my son was born is that we wanted him to have a really comfortable and positive relationship with money. We wanted him to be confident when it came to money and make sure that it was a normal thing in his world. As soon as he was able to walk, we started having him take money, and we'd give him $100 bills. Okay, so we take these. We'd often let him pay with $100 bills because we wanted them to get used to the brown bills too, and the red bills. The red ones are the 50s if you're not from Canada. So we'd give him a $100 bill to pay for products and services at the farmers market. And so he would, as soon as he could walk, he'd hand the bill, he'd know how to hand out his hand to ask for the change, and then he'd give us the change and we'd move on to the next booth. And so we let him do those transactions. Once he could speak, we added the pleasure doing business with you, ma'am or sir. And the eyes of the vendors would just light up and sparkle, because even though he did this every single week and they got used to it, it was so cool because he had this confidence when it came to money. Okay. We wanted him to have this confidence, and he did at such a young age. He was just doing what was considered normal. However, I know when I was younger, we never had that level of confidence when it came to money. It was a very different kind of energy. There was a lot more restriction, and there was a lot more caution, because money wasn't plenty as it was in his world. So why am I sharing this with you? Well, money is all around us, and how you relate to money is up to you. You can have a good relationship with money or a bad relationship with money. It's your choice and your money blueprint. Okay. The money blueprint inside your head, inside every single cell of your body, is one of the key driving factors that dictates your experience with money. Okay. So your money blueprint is absolutely key. So ask yourself, do you want to have a better experience with money? Would you actually like to feel comfortable and confident with it? Really be able to earn, save, grow, spend money with ease? And would you want to be able to hold productive conversations, let's say around money, with yourself, with your spouse, with your family, and others? Maybe you even know what you're actually talking about. Can you imagine the income that you earn and the impact you make growing exponentially as you build your healthy relationship with money? That's essentially what today is all about. Your money blueprint and how you can stop letting it get in the way of your success. So, I just want to look at what money really is. So, let's take a look at a couple of definitions. I love looking things up. I love really diving into the actual meanings of words that I am playing with. And money is a medium of exchange for service rendered. Okay. So money is just a form of exchange, and it's usually in the form of coins or dollar bills or some kind of banknotes. When you look below the surface and look at what it really is, this is energy. Okay. You're exchanging one energetic form for another. Money is energy. And when you use money, you have done something energetically to acquire this bill. And then you are giving this bill to acquire something else that's energetic, either a product or service. Okay. So, really important to understand that money is energy when you really look at what it boils down to. Now, a blueprint is a design or a plan or some kind of technical drawing. It's if you think of an architectural blueprint for a house. And today we're talking about the blueprint you have for money. And then when it comes to success, success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Okay. And when we think about success, there's some people in my world, we think about success all the time and what it actually means. It's not just this big esoteric concept. It's success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And so most people don't actually know what their specific definition of success is. So they're like, I want to be successful. And then if I ask them, well, what does success mean to you? They're um, like money to do what I want, time to do it whenever I want, the freedom to work where I want, when I want, and however I choose. Okay. And that's still a very vague and ambiguous concept. So one of the things Napoleon Hill said in his Think and Grow Rich is no one is ready for a thing until they believe they can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish, right? Hope, wish, it's got to be belief. And when you really get clear on what your definition of success is and what you're aspiring towards, you can start plugging those gaps and filling the gaps. So one problem today is that most people simply aim too low and get really hung up on the definition of success or lack thereof. And before, like hundreds of years ago, before the term success became commonplace, it was used to refer to royalty that was going to succeed the throne. And if you think about what these successors were, the responsibility they held, they weren't just aiming for a tiny little thing, they were going to assume an entire kingdom. And typically, they would prepare for that role for many, many years. And that is huge. And so it's really important that you know what your definition of success is. And I'm going to encourage you to think bigger, stretch further, because let's say, like Les Brown says, you aim for the moon and you land among the stars. You're going to get a hell of a lot further ahead than you were if you just aimed for a few percent more than you were for the next tiny little step. And so I want you to be really, really aware of this. Now, what you need to know, okay, what you need to know about this beautiful, beautiful topic, and we're talking about how you can stop letting your money blueprint get in the way of your success. So just like a house, you have a mental blueprint for how you relate to money. This is going to dictate how much money you earn, how much money you save, how you grow your money, how you speak about your money, whether you ignore it, maybe your money habits, how you spend your money. So you get the picture. This blueprint was created by you and it was engineered by, or it was ingrained and it was created and crafted by your parents, your caregivers, your teachers, your friends, the television, anything that you were exposed to prior to 7 years of age. And it's been with you ever since. Okay, this blueprint, this snapshot has been with you ever since. And you can change your blueprint. That's the cool thing. You can actually change your blueprint if you don't like where it's at. However, you need to learn the rules to change your blueprint. Just like I needed to know the rules when I was fixing and renovating those houses, right? When I didn't know the rules, they didn't work very well. So this is your opportunity to say, okay, my blueprint might not be working so well. How do you even know where your blueprint is? Okay, you know where your blueprint is set, where your money blueprint is set by the results that you have. And essentially, when it comes to finances, your results are how much money you earn, how much money you save, how well you grow your money, and that can be calculated based on return on investment, and how you spend your money. What is the energy? Do you actually spend your money joyfully, or do you have guilt when spending your money? Do you have shame when spending your money? Do you have fear when spending your money? Because there might never be enough. You might be earning great money and you're like, oh, I can't spend it. What if I lose it all? What if I waste it on something? So we have energy when it comes to how we relate with money. And one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, he used to ask people, what's the most amount of money you've ever earned? And the first time I got asked that, I was like, oh, got a uncomfortable feeling in my stomach. However, what it showed him and what it taught me is an indication of where the money blueprint is set. And one of the things that we've really been talking about in my Master Your Money Mindset masterclass is this idea that your net worth and your financial, your relationship with money is a direct reflection with your relationship with yourself. So your relationship with money is a direct reflection of the relationship you hold with yourself. And it doesn't mean that you're less worthy. However, if you don't have a great relationship with money, there are things that are naturally wired into you that you are not accessing because of this blueprint that is perhaps sitting on top of it. We were born with infinite potential. We were born with this access and ability to be prosperous individuals. However, you have to be willing to go out and claim it. That's your job. Okay, so prosperity is your birthright. You've got to be the one that claims it. And when you know what the most amount of money you've ever earned is, it's pretty concrete, and it can be concrete right down to the cent. And so these relationships that you have, whether good or bad, affect all areas of your life: health, wealth, your personal relationships with other people, your satisfaction, your personal joy. And one of the philosophies at Abundance Academy is that everyone should have the ability to have a rich and fulfilling life. All they have to do is actually go for it. So there are 3 keys that make up the money blueprint. And I go into more depth about the specific blueprint and what the nuances are of all of these in my Unstoppable You workshop. We held it back in January. We'll be holding it again at some point. However, just for those of you that haven't tuned into that, those are your thoughts in your conscious mind. So your thoughts in your mind, your thinking mind, your feelings, your beliefs, your expectations in your unconscious mind. And I refer to this as the heart, because this is where your emotions are housed. And your body, your physical body, that's where your actions are demonstrated. And your conscious mind, okay, your thoughts are responsible for about 5% of your results. Your unconscious mind is responsible for about 95% of your results. And the actions the body carries out, what do you think it's going to be dictated by more? The conscious 5% or the unconscious autopilot 95%? It's the unconscious. It's the 95%. So it's really, really important that you get a handle on your feelings, your beliefs, your expectations, and what's actually going on under the hood of your awareness. So the good thing that you need to know is your blueprint can be changed. So if you've got negative self-talk about money. Oh, I can't earn enough. My parents never earn more, so I can't earn more than them. Ooh, if I get too rich, people are gonna use me for my money. These are the stories we tell ourselves. And how does that make us feel? It makes us feel uncomfortable. It makes us feel awkward. It makes us feel inadequate. It makes us want to hide. It makes you feel guilty. It makes you feel shameful. And then what do? You either work really, really hard to prove yourself wrong, exhausting yourself, or you avoid the subject of money altogether. Can you let me know if you can relate to any of this? Okay, let me know if you can relate. Maybe you, maybe you decide to get in partnership with people, and your mind is saying this is logical because I'm trying to take action in the right direction, but you don't do your homework. And your gut in the meantime is saying, oh, there's something wrong with this. Your gut is like, and they refer to the gut as the second brain, and you choose not to listen to it. You ignore yourself when you actually do know better, and then that deal falls through. Okay, this is common stuff that happens. So when you start to learn to recognize this, you don't have to beat yourself up over it. Okay. And if you're like, oh my gosh, a lot of this sounds like me, I can totally relate to this, you can absolutely change your blueprint, because it's like the GPS systems, right? It's like your map for how you operate. And it's not going to change until you change it at the unconscious level. But what you can do is change it. So I want you to know that it is possible to change. And as soon as you start thinking bigger and start shifting these mental paradigms towards success, that's when you start having quantum leaps. And you might actually get those big goals and those big successes that you dream of and desire. The key is actually deciding you're ready to upgrade your money blueprint and soar to financial freedom and success. Let me know in the chat, even if you're watching by replay, like, do you want to change your blueprint? Do you want to upgrade your blueprint and soar to financial freedom and success? Let me know. So, if you want to master your money mindset, I want to invite you to a very special opportunity because I am hosting a free 1.5 hour Master Your Money Mindset Masterclass where you can escape the scarcity mentality and set yourself up to free yourself for financial abundance. And if this is something that's of interest to you, drop a comment in the chat. We will make sure to put the links in the bio, but drop a comment in the chat and I'll get the links to you for sure. I'll have my team send it out to you or send me a DM, whatever works best for you. Because this is such a powerful workshop. We're going to look at your money truths and realize that most of your money truths are a lie. And we're going to really dive into what your money truths are and what you would prefer for them to be. We're going to look at how this is not your fault and it is your fault at the same time. And I'm going to show you how you can pinpoint some of these things that we've been talking about in 5 minutes or less. And most people overlook these things. Okay. So you're going to start looking at the roadmap you need in order to get there. We're also going to look at the economy and how the economy is an illusion and how you are in the driver's seat because things aren't always as they appear to be. And when you have a practical, straightforward way to amplify your success and break through your fears, really swinging the doors of opportunity wide open for you, then you're going to be able to step into that energy of abundance being your birthright. So if you are a high achieving woman and you are ready for your next level of success and want to feel good about your money, you want to earn more, you want to have more, you want to be able to spend it joyfully, I want you to join me at this free workshop. I'm going to, you know what, on some of our channels, not on Facebook, I just popped a link in the chat. So you might be able to register right there. Okay, so take a look at that. Get registered if you're not yet. We've had some tremendous, tremendous feedback from this workshop, and I am so happy. We've got 3 more dates coming up between now and the beginning of April. So when it comes to this, when it comes to my son, right? My son, he has a very different mindset when it comes to money. He has a very different mentality when it comes to money. And one of the things that we started doing with him, because he's so confident, we started teaching him some more advanced strategies from probably when he was about 3 years old. We created these little money jars and all the money that he earns. Okay. So we let him earn money. We give him ways to earn money. We don't give an allowance, but he is able to earn money and he has different ways that he can do it. His least favorite these days is paper shredding. However, he can do that. However, he saved in these different money jars. We had one jar that was dedicated to long-term savings for spending, and he ended up saving more than $80 in this long-term savings for spending account. And he went to Toys R Us and bought this huge $80 stuffy, this $80 Pokemon stuffy. He was over the moon. I have no idea why it's so special, but this stuffy sits on a throne on a little tiny chair so it doesn't get dirty on the floor, and he absolutely loves it. And when I saw him confidently putting that money on the counter, knowing that he earned it himself, and that was such an empowering moment for him and for me, because it really affirmed that things are moving in a beautiful direction. And when my colleague, when my friend was talking to me at the business mastery seminar, he's talking and I'm totally fascinated by anything he says. He was telling me this one day as we were out for lunch about the huge markup there are on diamonds. It's like more than 90%. It's like 95, 99% on diamonds. It's huge. And he's like, yeah, so when you need some, come to me, call me. I will make sure to hook you up. And that really perked my ears up because that led me to this confident state that I have started not just expanding my own circle or my own vision for myself, however, also expanding my circle of influence and what was possible for me and not just others. And then back when we were in real estate and it was so frustrating, right? When it was so frustrating doing these real estate deals and fixing these properties and not having them work out, Our second house that we worked on actually ended up selling before our first one that we started. And what I did there is learned my lesson because I didn't want to take that kind of loss again. I was like, this is not cool. I was so frustrated. And I took that frustration and put it into a blueprint so we could take that blueprint to our third house. And taking this blueprint and all these lessons to our third house made it so much more successful and so much more enjoyable. And I confidently know that any other future times, I knew in that moment that whenever we do this again, that any other future time will be so much more successful because of this blueprint I set. So, really important for you to set yourself a money blueprint that actually works, that actually does support you. So, I want you to join me for my Master Your Money Mindset Masterclass if you have not yet. And I would love to see you there. I'd love to see you and really help you in any way possible. So I'm just seeing some of the comments. So yeah, a mindset reset, absolutely. How do I close this? Absolutely. Yeah. So I see a comment from a Facebook user. Unfortunately, I can't see your name. So I will make sure to get the link to you so you can get yourself registered. And it'll be phenomenal seeing you there. So next week, I am back again with another topic on money because I think this is such an important topic. When we really rise to our financial occasion, when we really start to step up our relationship with money, it doesn't just impact ourselves, it impacts those around us, it impacts our family, it impacts our community, it impacts our entire world. And there's nothing more that I would love to see than for you to go out with absolute confidence in your financial world and totally rock it. So join me for Master Your Money Mindset, and I will be back again next week. I believe we are talking about money mentors. So I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. I'm just looking for the button to end this.